It was interesting to see it. Here we are, MI Sports Talk again this week, talking about the recapping the NFL draft a little bit. The virtual NFL draft from everybody's homes, in their basements or whatever.
Yeah, it was a little different to see the reactions and folks had around them.
Yes. They're having commissioner from his basement. He's
showing all the coaches and general managers in their houses with their kids all around them and stuff.
They loved it. I think. Yeah, it's kind of more relaxed. You see everybody more in the relaxed mode. You saw them more in a less professional mode, I guess, so to speak. I guess, where they could be at home, and you saw everybody's homes a little different. And everybody had their comments the last 3 days on everybody's homes, whether it's coaches, GMs, even Belichick. There, the last scene was his dog sitting in his chair looking at his computer. That's kind of creative. Thought that was kind of, but yeah, they had a interesting draft. Seeing all the people at their homes with their cameras that they sent out to them, and get the instant reaction from them. Seeing everybody's sitting at home, and obviously you lose out on the glamour of walking across the stage and hugging the commissioner and all that kind of stuff, and getting pictures and interviews and all that kind of stuff. But it still took the same length, I think. You didn't lose out on anything, even minus all the interviews. You didn't really do any. I think that's one thing they lacked was the interviews.
Well, they still were able to get a few of those where they did.
I know they interviewed Burrow and
pull the guys aside and got a little bit of fun TV time.
First emotional reaction, it seemed like, was from Cesar Ruiz from the Wolverines. He seemed to be pretty broken up about his draft by the Saints there in the first round.
Yeah. Kind of cool to see some of that.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of cool to see some of that. I think a little more relaxed from that standpoint. That people were, kind of their reaction was probably a little. I think when you're wherever the draft was going to be held, I think it was going to be in Vegas, where there's reaction would have been a little more subdued or a little different than when you're sitting in your living room surrounded by your parents or your girlfriend or whatever. I think it was kind of different.
Earl had him, his mom, and his dad, So obviously he didn't have to sit around waiting too long. He had it over with quick. So
yeah. That was like we were saying, I don't think not really too many surprises in that first round.
No.
Think, no movement like we talked about. I think it was maybe one trade or something, but no.
We predicted last week. We might trade with the Dolphins, but like you said, your run out is like there's no really justification to move down to lose the draft pick. They were going to take it once, and it ended up coming up from the Lions' standpoint was that really they never fielded any phone calls or calls really too much about guys, so they were pretty much set there. There was no real, as much as they discussed the Lions going after quarterbacks or whatever.
Yeah,
and they stayed after him,
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of a smokescreen. I don't think they had any intention to draft Tua. Dolphins were pretty confident. I think that he was going to be available there because the Giants went after quarterback at that point. So
yeah. This only difference was the guy at 4, Andrew Thomas from Georgia. The guy from Iowa was going to go. Tristan Wirfs was going to go there and end up being Andrew Thomas instead. And obviously Wirfs, we saw his video, and his athleticism obviously is huge. He's jumped out of the pool, landed on both feet from 4 feet. 4 feet water. He jumped out of the water and just sprung up and landed both feet right on the edge of the pool. It's kind of impressive. Apparently, Wirfs, obviously he went to Tampa Bay as the tackle for Brady down there, but he was a state champ wrestler at 285, and he also won the discus and shot put state title in high school.
Yeah, pretty good looking athlete. The boy his size.
Some of the guys you hear about them, they're like, oh my gosh, some of those that's what you get out of the draft is what some of the history of the kids, the history of the families.
Mm-hmm.
Like DPJ from Michigan, his dad's an orthopedic surgeon here in Michigan. A long family line of doctors and.
I remember. I think even remember back to his recruiting.
Yeah,
right?
That's what he wanted to
talked
be.
about the academics being a big part of what he was looking for. I think either one or both of his parents were from both
emergency trauma orthopedic surgeon or something, I think. So Thomas went 4th. Tua obviously went 5th to the Dolphins. You know, and Herbert 6th to Oregon. They're going to the Chargers. So out of the first 6 picks, 3 of them were quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You know?
We'll see. You know, I don't know what your thoughts on Herbert are. I mean, kind of an interesting pick.
He had a very impressive, I thought, you know, watching him throw at the combine on TV, arm strength and some of those kind of things. He did some impressive things there, but what he tends to have issues with is once you get in the game, you know.
Yeah. Decision making
and those kind of things where he drops off a little bit there. But, you know, Derek Brown, the defensive tackle from Auburn, went 7, and my guy Isaiah Simmons ended up out in Arizona. So
yeah, I think, you know, Brown was I think a great pick there, right? I mean,
oh yeah,
we talked a little bit about him being one of the guys there at that
Carolina.
You know, if you're looking for a defensive tackle, he was a guy, right? He's
right,
an interior guy that.
I think Carolina, every pick took a defensive guy.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
The new coach there from the college, Baylor.
Yeah, the young guy.
Or something. Something. He took every pick he took was a defensive guy, no offensive guys at all. So, then you get into your what we had talked about with some of the receivers. That was kind of a hot topic in the middle of the draft, you know, and your Ruggs.
Yeah.
The Ruggs went first to the 12th pick to the Raiders. You know, he was weren't sure. Judy went 15th to the Broncos, and then C.D. Lamb went to the Cowboys. All the way down to the Cowboys at 17.
I don't know if you were watching it. Jerry Jones was ecstatic with that pick.
Oh my God! Couldn't call it in quick enough. I don't think he could call it in quick enough.
He was giddy.
They had fallen to his lap. That C.D. Lamb was in his option. You know, obviously, you know, Jerry was toughing it out there in his $250 million yacht that he was calling the picks from.
His surroundings looked a little nice.
It looked a little rough out there. He was struggling a little bit. But, you know, McCarthy, you know, the new coach there in Dallas, old Green Bay coach. You know, they're loaded, is what they're coming out of the draft right now, is saying that they're loaded. Really loaded up. A lot of receivers went there in the first round. You got
toward the end, especially towards the end there. Yeah.
The Niners took one, and you know,
Jefferson went to the Vikings there for. I think good for Cousins there. I think he's a pretty big time receiver.
Yeah, that's what you look like. So you sit there and watch the draft, and it's like, okay, as a Lion, you know, or from the Lions crew here, you know. Being in Michigan, obviously, and you look at the other teams in our division: the Packers, the Vikings, and the Bears. You know, you try to watch and see who they pick, and obviously the Packers kind of lit up that first night there with potentially taking Aaron Rodgers backup. Replacement. Kind of shocked everybody a little bit at them taking Jordan Love.
Oh, for sure.
Utah State there in the 26th pick in the first round. So
I've seen everything from I think the grading coming out from the from all the experts on the draft, right? The gradings.
Oh yeah.
I think almost to a man, all of them had. I don't think I saw higher than a C or a D grading for that pick for the Packers.
That pick or for the Packers.
Yeah.
For them taking him in that situation.
They were saying, what that's a horrible, you know, they just, I don't know, everything I've seen, all the people that are like, you know, putting the grading scales on the picks,
Yeah.
They're all ripped, getting ripped.
Yeah, you look at the quarterbacks, obviously that they picked, and obviously the ones that dropped were Eason from Washington and
Mhm.
uh, what's his toes uh, from Georgia,
Yeah, from.
Jake Fromm. He dropped all the way down into the Bills. I was sitting there and watching them, going, man, what team really? And you keep looking at the next teams up. They put 3 or 4 teams there waiting to pick in the order, and it's like well, that team doesn't need anybody. They got somebody, and that team doesn't need a quarterback. They got somebody. I'm like, man, the only ones I really thought were like Jacksonville, maybe, or really every team that came up. I'm like, Phil, they got somebody already. There wasn't a real, aside from like Cincinnati or the Dolphins or any of those guys. If you weren't there, then those guys are all, so they're saying, oh, well, Jake Fromm will go there and be in a backup. But, apparently, I guess Fromm at the combine, where sometimes it's good and bad to go to the combine,
Right.
there and produced that his arm wasn't as strong as some of the other guys in the draft, so his stock dropped, and Easton, I don't know what it was with Easton, but I don't remember who he went to. Do you remember? He was in the 5th round.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up here, and I think
He's the 5th
the one
round.
that you just talked about, Philadelphia. They went with Hurts, in the second round. So
Yeah, they took Hurts. That's here you are sitting there with your guy. It's like, what is your thinking there behind all that?
yeah, I was a little surprised. I mean, I wasn't surprised to see Hurts go in that second round, but I was surprised to see the Eagles.
See who took him, right? That's the thing. Trying to find. Easton went to the Colts. Yeah. Jacob Eason, Colts.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there you look at it, he goes to Colts, so he's sitting there right behind Rivers. But there's also the other guy that was quarterback there last year, too. So obviously, that's a interesting selection by them. But obviously, he'll be the heir apparent there in the Colts program, probably. I thought he was related to the old Easton that was a quarterback, but apparently he's not.
What's that?
I thought Jacob Eason was related to the Tony Eason. I think the TV said he wasn't related to Tony Eason.
Not, yeah.
The quarterback that came out of Illinois, 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But, then you got the guy from, you think, all right, well, Jake Fromm was the next guy on Mel Kiper's best available, right? So they're waiting, and I think even Eason was below Fromm, whatever, and they took, James Morgan, Florida International was the next quarterback to go after Eason. So even Jake Fromm wasn't picked from him. But, we talked a little bit about the Michigan guys, some state guys. Josiah Scott, he got drafted. I think Williams got drafted, plus Willikis. Willikis got drafted, too. I didn't see Batchy. I don't see his name. I don't know. Did you catch him at all?
I did not. I
thought he got picked, but I could be wrong. But, obviously the Lions, they take the corner from Ohio State with the 3rd pick, and then in the 2nd round, they come back with a running back from Georgia, DeAndre Swift. I was pushing for the kid from Wisconsin. And
we were pushing for Taylor, but
looking for Jonathan Taylor. He ended up going a little bit later in the 2nd round.
Well, I think, we were talking about that a little bit today with the boys, and I think one of the factors there was maybe, you look at all the guys in the NFL, the running backs that are successful, they catch the ball out of the backfield. And, I think that's one area where Taylor's not really all that stellar.
No, I think he's more of a straight guy running the ball. I think he worked a little bit on it, but I think he's it's kind of torn. I thought, well, Swift, you got Taylor, and then you also had the Philadelphia Eagles took.
I think the Swift.
No, not them. Ravens took J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah,
were being discussed there.
I know Bob was rooting for Dobbins, but I think Swift was a heck of a pick in that spot.
I like Swift too. I'm pretty
much, in my opinion, much better back than Dobbins. From a versatility standpoint. what
Yeah,
he does.
he graded out at a 91.
Yeah. I mean,
Some of the right up here on this is, Kerryon Johnson, who's the Auburn running back that the Lions already had. He had knee surgery. He missed 6 games last year. He missed the final 6 games in 2018 with a knee injury. So obviously, Kerryon Johnson's a little beat up. Swift is a versatile back who should help improve the run offense. 21st in the league and gave quarterback Stafford a valuable target.
Yeah, I mean he's good out of the backfield. I mean he does block well. He's got good speed. He good burst. I mean I watch a little bit more SEC football than maybe some of the folks around here do, but I was always very impressed by it.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's just that line of Georgia backs, that come out recently. You had the one Michael or whatever from the Patriots, and then Gurley obviously was a running back for the Rams. He was a huge year. Sonny Michel, I think, was the one guy from the Patriots who won the Super Bowl that year, first year.
Well, you look at the Lions' backfield room now, right? It's full of 3 SEC guys. You got Scarborough, you got
Scarborough,
you got Kerryon, and now you got Andrews. So three SEC guys in the backfield.
ESPN here says as the top back and 18th ranked player on our board, he's an outstanding value at this point in the draft. So.
Yeah, I think it was a heck of a pick.
Yeah.
Even though I wasn't so thrilled with the number 3 pick. I mean, I think, I think he's going to be a good player, but, is being a good player, worthy of a number 3 pick in first.
People are saying he's almost got to be. Is he a Dion prime time? Is he a Woods?
Yeah, which I don't think he is.
Be taken in that spot. Those are the standards he's got to live up to, I think.
Right.
Compare him down the road. I think the rest of his career is going to be, that kind of a situation where you got to,
I mean, I guess he does fill the hole that they, vacated with Slay, but they're not going to have to pay him as much money as Slay. So I guess from that standpoint, it does that. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Number 3 pick is.
Yeah. Well, in the second round, obviously Josh Uche from Michigan, he went to the Patriots. Something about that fetish the Patriots have with the Michigan Wolverines, it's a nice pick for them. The pressure guy, I think they're.
Well, he's the kind of guy. He's the kind of linebacker now that you're starting to see a lot more of in the NFL, right? I mean, you can line up in multiple spots. He's like your boy Simmons there. I mean, you put him anywhere, right? He played so many different spots, and Uche's that kind of guy. Hudson's that kind of guy. I think those are the kind of guys that are going to be now pretty valuable in the NFL these days. Yeah.
Well, you go, obviously you got to cover the, that spread now, or running the run past option. You got to cover that back. You got to cover, some of those guys. You got to move them around a little bit because you want to have some speed to chase these guys. Yeah. And third round, the Lions take Julian Aquara from Notre Dame, an outside linebacker.
I like that pick too.
Did you? He graded out at 77, according to this.
Yeah, I like that pick.
Yeah. The Lions tied for 29th with 28 sacks last year, so that's not very good. So they need to improve their pass rush. Trey Flowers, getting 7 of them. I give you. So, hopefully. I mean, I have to say he's 6'4", 252 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put some more pounds on him, I'm sure, as we move along here in his career. And they'll get him beefed up, and he'll be able to dedicate his whole time to that. Huge. You go defense, offense, defense. Kind of how they do that. And I thought we'd go again later, and we didn't end up doing that. But we stayed with an offensive guy, and we picked another running back.
Yeah.
Tanner Moose. I saw the Raiders take him. He was a guy I liked from Clemson. Defensive back, safety. I liked him. There's a lot of guys. Devin Asiasi, he was an old Michigan guy that transferred to UCLA, went back home.
Yeah, looks like that.
Mm-hmm. Got picked up by the Patriots. So another Michigan / UCLA guy there in that position. But yeah, I mean, that's a big round there. Third round, obviously, third, and today, 4, 5, 6. The Lions I think the Lions traded out a little bit. Oh, they got the offensive guard. They went to an offensive guard since they lost Lasco, I think, left and
Yeah.
coming off back surgery. So they picked up the offensive guard from Kentucky. He's called Mr. Mean, whatever. His nickname is Nasty.
Yeah.
According to the ESPN guys, he gets too many flags. So maybe throw his net. But
fits right into that offensive line group of Lions. It's a history of a well-organized group. Sometimes two on the same play.
They got multiple fouls. Number 54 on the kickoff. How can you have 2 fouls on the kickoff on a punt? That'd be crazy. Stenberg 6'6", 317 pounds. He's position ranked 7th, overall ranked 143, and we picked him at 121. So, and he's graded out at a 60. But pretty good sized guy. As far as adding depth to the offensive line. I think we get another offensive guy later on there. Here's a Spartan. Josiah Scott went, like I said, I think to the Jaguars.
He went to Jaguars in the 4th round.
Yeah, he's right there. I see him. And then Ben Bredesen. He went 37th of the round, 143 overall. Ben Bredesen, Jim's brother, John, they kind of stick together a little bit, I guess. So they took Ben Bredesen, Michigan guy. So maybe he's watched a few games or got some input from him. So another Michigan guy off the board. And here's a Wisconsin, Tyler Theodaz from Wisconsin. He went to the Cowboys, last pick of the 4th round. So some interesting guys there. Let's see who the Lions took next here. Quintez Cephas, wide receiver, Wisconsin. We took him in the 5th round. The Lions did.
He was.
He had some issues, I think. He had some issues on the field.
Well, he had some off-the-field issues. I think he was suspended for 2018 season. There were some allegations. He had to sit out that year.
No, you can't have a draft for the Lions where they don't take a receiver. One of those guys. Khaleke Hudson from Michigan went a couple picks before him to the Redskins. He's pick 162. He was another Michigan guy off the board there. So they're moving right along. And Michael Dana, you said you were talking about him beforehand. He went to the Chiefs. To the Chiefs, baby.
Never hurts to get picked up by the defending Super Bowl champ.
Yeah. He's a good guy. Came out of Central Michigan. Came to Michigan for a year. 6'2", 251 pounds. Graded out at 32. Overall rank is 292. And they picked him at 177. So.
Yeah, maybe a little underrated.
Take a little shot at him. He was strong there at Central. He came to Michigan for a year. So I guess Michael in the 5th round. Oh no, we're in the 6th round. 6th round, Michael Onwenu.
Yeah.
Again, the Patriot ties, taking a Michigan guy. 6'3", 344. Going to and that was from Detroit through Indianapolis, so the pick was all over. So Detroit had a part to that, him going there.
Oh, did they? Yeah, I kind of
got
to admit, when it got down to these rounds, I was kind of.
Oh yeah, I just kind of listening to it here, sitting. DPJ, he obviously went to the Browns. I was sitting there going, where would D? Because he was like on the sheet, he's on Mel's top 10 guys left, or whatever, best available, and he was like 4th best available. I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns, he's close to home. You think about that, how successful is a guy going to be? Why would somebody on the West Coast take someone from Michigan? or you think he's going to have to relocate and go out there and be so far away from the family, you know. Why you take a chance in the 6th round with a guy that's close by who has potential? And they talked about, you know, on ESPN on the coverage of the draft, they talked about how obviously this year he struggled because of Patterson and quarterbacking and, you know, just the play, pass. He said a lot of times he went up and made good catches on bad passes.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, Patterson. But you know, it's one of those kind of deals where you know, did the stock drop? Did they think he was too low? I mean, when he went up, when they told him, hey, you should enter the draft or come back to Michigan, did they say to him, hey, you might be a 6th-round pick?
Yeah, you got to wonder.
You know, or do you say, you know, did they tell him you're in the top 3 rounds? You should be top 3-round pick, no doubt. You know, you don't know what people are telling him. You know, some of these guys, because he could have came back for another year, right?
Yeah,
he went out early, so obviously, you know, do you say, oh, I don't like the way the Michigan offense is going, I'm going to get out, you know? And did you trust McCaffrey or did you trust the other guy, you know, the quarterback's coming in or whatever, you know? It's like,
yeah, I don't know.
Be the same thing again, or did I just take my chances and go?
Him leaving did surprise me a little bit, to be honest.
It did or didn't?
It did.
It did, yeah.
Yeah. I kind of pictured him as like we were talking earlier, I think, you know, Dad being
Stick it out.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of looked at him as being a 4-year guy. That one did surprise me a little bit when he.
Yeah, because I don't picture him as a lifetime player. You know, he's not going to be a lifer in the NFL, is he?
I don't know.
To be a doctor, does he think he wants to brains in for 6, 8, 10 years in the NFL?
Yeah, I don't know. Kind of. That one did surprise me a bit. But
does he want to continue education? You know,
not like his family needed the money or anything. You know, was in a kind of hardship kind of situation like that.
Yeah, like some
you always look at those kind of guys, and you always figure, well, that's a 4-year college guy right there.
Yeah. But it's highly touted coming out of Cass Tech High School. You know, he was one of the top picks in the nation. Or even ranked up there pretty high.
Oh, yeah.
He was a 5-star recruit, and you know, obviously his tests at the combine were, you know, through the roof. A lot of his numbers were great, but you know, the duplicate onto the field, and so a lot of the ESPN guys, when they were analyzing it today, they said, well, you know, once he gets to Cleveland and he's got, you know, the crew around him, he could be he could produce, you know. Especially if they're looking to shop around one of those receivers that they have, you know, Odell Beckham, or if they're looking to shop around some of their players there, you know, they got a new regime there at Cleveland. They got a new coach, and so you don't know. You know?
So it might be a good situation for him. So.
Yeah, I was sitting there, you know, I'm sitting there trying to think, all right, who could, like I said, when I was trying to Jake Fromm, I'm like, what team would take Jake Fromm? You know, it's looking at who's coming up. I mean, Dell had quarterbacks. It's like he's getting picked just to be a backup, and like Bills took Jake Fromm, but it was like they said he's the best available, so let's take him. You know, taking the best guy available with that situation. He's, you know, another quarterback. He's kind of he'll run around a little bit, and the starter that they have right now. Yeah, but I guess Allen's the quarterback at Buffalo. His agent's Jake Fromm, agent. So they're both on the same agent. So I don't know. He's sitting there going, hey, why don't you just take him? But he was the top pick. He was, you know, his Mel Kiper's top player. And I was surprised because I was trying to figure out I thought he'd go Jacksonville or somebody that might need a more instantaneous quarterback. Bears, you know.
Bears, yeah.
You know, none of those guys pulled the trigger on him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe get him later, and they missed out on it. But later on, right, a few picks after DPJ went, John Runyon from the Wolverines obviously went to the Green Bay Packers. Pick 192. You know, right around there. I kept saying, well, one of those quarterbacks go like 190, 191, 192, like Tom Brady did. Always maybe start, you know, make their way through like Tom Brady did. But yeah, they talked about John Runyon. You know, here they draft John Runyon, and they're showing his dad, highlights of his dad when he played in Philadelphia. And little John was running around with all the guys. They had pictures of him and stuff. It was kind of neat to see. You know, now here he is getting drafted. You know, he made it all the way through to being drafted.
That's cool. Yeah, I missed that one. I didn't see that part.
Yeah, it was cool little pictures. They had a couple pictures of him with when he was in Philadelphia. So it was couple of the quarterbacks there. John Running was standing there, and Little John was standing there with him. But he said, "Hey, Dad, the only thing I got, you might be whatever, but I was 2-time All Big Ten or something." That's one thing he had up on his dad. So, but yeah, it's interesting. Let's see who else we got. There's Josh Metellus, Michigan guy, pick 205, safety, one of the Vikings. So obviously he had a lot of nice things to say about him. They talked him up pretty good. They said
Metellus.
Yeah, they said he could be a spot guy or maybe a special teamer.
Yeah, I think that, certainly a special team.
And then our boy Jordan Glasgow went right before the end of the 6th round. Jordan Glasgow, inside linebacker, Michigan, pick 213. So that's good for him. He's a walk-on at Michigan. Michigan. He's one of the brothers. All the other Glasgows have all played, made it to the big league there, and now his the youngest one made it through there. So
yeah, he's the last one.
I was happy. I really enjoyed watching him play. He played hard.
I liked all the Glasgows. Those guys were great. Great story for Michigan. I was all
the old saying that they say, "Well, if you ever want to be in a foxhole, and who would you want in there with you?" And I think if I got into a foxhole with the Glasgow family,
yeah.
I think
you feel pretty good.
Feel pretty safe. I think with those guys in there because they're all fighters, man. They'll battle,
Mm-hmm.
And I'd follow you guys in that foxhole, no problem. Be one of those. Here's Kenny Willekes in the 7th round.
Yeah, Willekes went 7th round. Yeah.
7th round to the Vikings. His family's huge. They showed his family. Unbelievable. He's got pianist. One of his sisters is a world renowned. He's a famous pianist. Brothers and it's just they had a ton of them just on this picture, and it showed each of them, and they listed on a list. Everybody's what they do for a living. I was like, they're pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. It's crazy. Jashon Cornell, Ohio State, Michigan. The Lions took him in the 7th round. Ohio State defensive end.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the Lions' last pick of the draft.
That was just to make Bob happy.
That's just to make sure he got two Buckeyes. Sitting there. Bob can sit there at the Ford Field and they can go OH. The other side of the frickin' crowd will say IO. Really hate to irritate any of our Ohio State followers that watch our podcast, but hey, that is what it is, man. The Lions didn't take any Michigan guys, no Michigan State guys. They took heavy Buckeyes. But Mr. Irrelevant this year, Jay Crowder, pick 255, last pick of the draft, inside linebacker.
Who's he from? Where is he from?
Georgia. Jay Crowder, T-A-E. T-A-E Crowder. Good side. Not much of a. He didn't do a post that. It's just something.
Yeah.
But he's the last pick. So if they ever go to Disney World or whatever, he gets to go.
These last, I was doing the math, right? 7 rounds, 32 teams. That's like 224 picks.
Must be a lot.
What were these other picks in the 7th round? Were these all the conditional picks that were from trades? I think is what it was. It seemed like a lot of them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird that they would go up that high.
It was almost like an extra round.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, 32 or 33, 32 teams.
32 teams, 7 rounds is 224 picks. Yet they went all the way to 255. So there was an extra 31 picks. Almost another round.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I think the guys were saying it's all the when you make a trade, there's some kind of conditional picks that are added in or whatever. But I don't know how that works and why there was a certain number that there was.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably what it is. I mean, I don't think the Lions got in there too much. I think the Lions, I don't know if they do. Do they do the team by team at all or what?
Yeah, I don't know.
Teams.
I didn't look at that too much, but it was just kind of curiosity. I have to research that one a little bit.
There we go. There's the Lions. Jeff Okuda, DeAndre Swift, Julian Kwawa, Jonah Jackson. He's an offensive guard. Logan Stenberg, Cephas, Jason Huntley. Yeah, that surprised me in the fifth round. They took Jason Huntley for the Lions, running back, New Mexico State.
Yeah, that did too.
I watched the write-up or the video on him, and undersized back. He's 5'8", 190 pounds. Good top-end speed, dynamic player who rushed for 1,000 yards last year. He finishes his college career with 134 catches for 1,100 yards, 5 touchdowns. Oh, he also had 5 touchdowns on kickoff returns. So if you're looking at him, he's possibly, he's that guy.
Maybe he's a return guy. Huh?
Yeah, he could be a return guy. He could be, back, out of the backfield, third down guy. But he's fast. I mean, he is. The video they showed on, they said when he gets going, he's taking to the house. He's going to the house. He's top end speed and he's going. So, and they took John Penasini from Utah, defensive tackle. They took a defensive tackle and a defensive end the last 2 picks. Mm-hmm. Utah, so he loaded up on our defensive line there for the last couple guys after going defense. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So four defensive guys, 4 offensive guys maybe. But yeah, I mean, it's a good draft. I mean, I think Lions obviously filled in some needs that they needed to have, and just
it's about the closest thing we had to any kind of real excitement in the sporting world.
Kind of live sports right now.
Watching this.
Unbelievable. I mean, it's like, it did entertain me for the weekend, I guess, from Thursday, Friday. I'm like, right now I'm watching NFL Network on, just doing the recap, so it's kind of a recap on one of the TVs. Actually, on both the TVs here. So.
Now let's hope we got a season to look forward to.
Well, that's the thing, I think I was talking with Bob about it. It's like, well, now let's see what happens here, let's see if we can get the season. It's scary. It's still scary, even though they semi let up a little bit on the some of the laws, the rules, and stuff like that, going on here. But it's something, You see, switching over a little bit to the basketball, Michigan's last possible option guy chose Brown. Is it Brown? Michigan had, maybe he might pick him for come play basketball for Michigan. He chose Texas. So what's his toes is coming back? Wagner. He pulled his name from the draft.
Yeah, still no word on Livers, right? What's the deadline?
Livers hasn't decided. Yeah, I think he'll.
What's his timeline?
Huh?
What's the timeline on that? What's he?
I think they still got some time. I think.
Yeah.
Time. I think the draft usually isn't until like June, right, for NBA.
Mm-hmm. I just don't know how long he has before he has to play.
Got to declare out, get out of it. I mean, he could actually stay in it as long as he doesn't have an agent. I think if he doesn't get drafted, then come back. I don't know for sure, but it's funny because both of those 2 guys both said, "Oh, I'm going to go," and so I don't know if they were trying to make room for potential recruits, Michigan if they would have gotten, the guy they wanted from California, Christopher. Yeah. And what's his toes? Todd would have came. And if Brown would have possibly came, I think, they were trying to line themselves up so they had room for him. I think that's why I think they probably sat down with both those 2 guys and said, hey, why don't you guys say you're going to go for the draft? That way we're still covered. And if they don't, once these guys decide not to, now Wagner's like, well, they probably said, you can come back now, or stay in, whatever, not be over the recruit. I guess Michigan still has one more recruit.
They do. They got one more spot, I think. There's
one more spot. Even if Livers decides to stay.
Yeah, I think there's another spot.
Okay. Yeah. That'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see what they do in basketball wise, but
well, the whole thing, right? I mean, it'd be, there's still talk about, whether or not colleges will be back on campus. And
right.
That's schools will be back in session, and it's all up in the air right now. Still.
What would you do in that situation, Sam?
Huh?
What would you do in that situation if you were in charge of, you had a school that you were in charge of, or whatever, or if you're on a board at a college and
I think you got to, at this point, you got to be prepared to. You got to be thinking. The expectation is you're going to start up back in the fall. I mean,
you are.
Yeah, I mean, you got to. I mean,
yeah,
you're sitting here in April already thinking you possibly aren't going to be going. You got to be planning as if you are going back. I mean, just like all the businesses are. You're planning, that you are going to start back up. What is the time frame? I don't know. But from a school standpoint, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things you got to consider. Yeah. But I mean, I think your philosophy has to be you have to plan as if you are, and then whatever the requirements are at the time, or whatever, and you make that decision.
Yeah. What do you do? Here you are. You put the kids, you shove them in the dorms, and you're right on top of each other, and 2 to 3 kids per room sometimes, and you just think about what they're looking at in that situation.
Yeah. But you hope by that point, they're learning so much. They're learning a lot more every day.
Yeah.
A lot of smart people out there. And
yeah.
As long as we don't let politics drive things and let,
Well, that's the biggest.
Make the right decisions based upon the knowledge and the science and everything that's out there.
That's the biggest holdback sometimes, I think, right now is the political part of it all. And, that's a shame. It's a shame that wavers on some of the decision making, that you'd have that kind of a situation, but yeah, I don't know. You just everybody, I mean, obviously people are going to be cautious. People are going to be masked. People are going to be gloved. I think.
Yeah, I had my mask on today.
Did you? Mm-hmm. I ordered mine today. First time. I ordered 2 Michigan ones. They're kind of.
Oh yeah.
They go down your throat, down your neck.
That's when I saw there was one that had a zipper in it, and then the guy put his beer in.
Oh, no way. So you don't have to always keep pulling it down, putting it back.
Yeah, it had a zipper in it.
So put a little straw there or something. That's the biggest.
That's pretty creative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it'd be interesting to see. I mean, obviously, are you the first person? You almost look at this pandemic and coming out of it, and how some people would love to be the first person in line. That's just the way they were bred. Or are you the guy that sits in the back and lets everybody else go up and get stuff first and see? So am I the guy that's going to be the first one in a restaurant to sit down and have lunch, or am I the first guy that's going to, I mean, it's like, all right, you get it's like the gates open for you to run, and the dog stands there looking around going, do I run out? Or do I stay in the yard? I don't want to get freaking run over by a car. Or the dog that just takes off out the freaking gate and it's gone. You know what I mean? And the tail's gone, ears are gone, he's gone. You know what I mean? Or are you the more precautious? Say, wait and let's see if. Give me a couple weeks to see how it goes. I mean, are you guys gonna put your foot in the water first to see how the temperature is, or are you just gonna jump in the water? I mean, a lot of different analogies here that it's like, you're gonna just jump in. Well, say, all right, we said we can go, and you're not gonna get infected or anything. I'm not a real germaphobe guy. I mean, I guess I can be at times, but I'm not the kind of guy that used to wipe everything down. I never used to be the kind of guy that did all that. I mean, I did have some people that did that a lot, and now I do. I might wipe down my counter in here and stuff like that upstairs. That kind of stuff. But I'm just curious. Are you the kind of guy you think you'd be the one that would want to, like they said, all right, well, she just said the other day, everything's up a little bit, you can kind of go out. Are you already thinking, all right, Monday I'm going to go?
I'm definitely going to go play golf tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Thinking about it. Weather holds up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can walk the golf course a little bit. I need one of them carry bags though. I think my bag's a little.
Yeah,
I do need to do something.
yeah. I think I'll be out there. I mean,
Look at the weather this week. It's supposed to be all right in the 50s, mid 50s, and I think some chances of showers, but you know.
I've been itching to get out.
Huh?
I've been itching to get out.
Yeah, Kurt K. Freeze, you know, he's not even supposed to be swinging the club. Just had open heart surgery. I shouldn't say this in case his doctors are watching, but, but he says, "Yeah, we'll have to play. We'll have to play on Friday." Shaking my head. He just got done with quadruple heart bypass a month and a half
He's
ago.
got to be walking too. So.
Right? Yeah, that's the thing. He can't carry
Carry.
pull card or something. I mean, even the club, you know, you got it.
Give himself one of those remote control ones.
Yeah. The guy in my league last year bought one of those. You can push the button and it'll just go on its. He never used it though. I never saw him use it, but he's like, "Oh, I got to get it out. I got to get it out." But it's like, you know, I have like 3 weeks or 4 weeks left of, not even that, maybe 3 or 4 weeks left of bowling in my league. You know, what do? They say, "Hey, bowling's back on." You know, do you go bowl? I mean, I don't know. And they bowl with a mask on, bowl with gloves on. Or do you just say, "Let's just wait and we'll try it again next year"? And then, you know, next year, I mean, usually bowling starts in like August, you know, or whatever, next year. So they're already, you know, they do 30 some weeks of bowling. So crazy. But I mean, there's different things like that. You know, in Georgia, they opened up the movie theaters. I mean, you go watch a movie at a movie theater, and if you wear gloves and a mask.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. I just think probably I'm one of the guys going to probably sit there and go, "I'll wait and see how people do for a while. See what the numbers show. You know, if the numbers stay in decline, you know, I might peek my head out of the stone, out of the cave. Take a look. Yeah, take a look around.
You got a hole and look around.
Take a look around. See my shadow. I feel like a freaking hibernating bear. You know, but I got my furniture out here, and you know, put that out there and go sit out there. I mean, you know, that kind of stuff. But I mean, I don't know. A lot of it's just in your brain, you know. Eventually, it's like anything, you know. If you get in a car crash, you got to get back in there and drive your car again. You know, I got in a smash up when I was 20. Twice in 1 month, got smacked. My car, just car damage, but I was fine, you know. You get back in the car, and you know, but you do proceed with caution. You know, you're not so first to go across through a yellow light, or you know, people turn in front of me. There's a person turned in front of me and cut me off. You know, turned left in front of me. I smashed it. So you're always a little apprehensive then if a person's going to turn in front of you and you smash them again. You know, so one of those kind of.
I think the most interesting thing will be, you know, so what would you take? Say the NFL plays this fall, or end up playing some kind of reduced college schedule because of maybe the differences, and like we were talking about, you know, some schools aren't in session, so they theoretically couldn't be playing football. So, but if you got some schools open, and you know, you had to have some kind of reduced schedules, and you'd have to play it with no fans.
Right.
I mean, my preference would be, I'd sit here and watch it on TV, right? I mean,
right. As long as it's still televised, yeah.
You know, if it was that versus nothing at all, I'd choose that, right?
I would just assume
most of us would.
Yeah, I can, as long as they're willing to, you know, I mean, the essential people are there at the game and can make the game go, and you don't have fans, and that's how it is. You know, you just have to. Just like today, in the draft, you did the draft. You made the draft work without all the fan and you know,
all the
hoopla and stuff. You know, so it still worked.
But yeah.
You know, but I think, you know, by then, like you say, a lot of advances are happening day in and day out. You know,
right. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. I think
we're talking today on
changes by the. I got a buddy of mine who's a doctor. You know, he's got a practice down in Indiana. 2 weeks or 2 days or 3 days ago when I talked to him. You know, he was saying this and that. And then last time I talked to him, he said, yeah, they state of Indiana said I can go back to doing surgeries now. You know, so
Wow.
he said, you know, that they're learning daily. You know,
Yeah.
the situation is changing that fast. So
Right.
you know,
Yeah. Maybe we're on April 25th, and you're trying to decide something that's gonna
that's what I mean.
on August 31st or August
We-
20th.
Everybody can sit here and speculate and say, you know, you need to be, you know, be the doom and gloom guy that says nobody's going to be back in school, it's all done, or you can be the optimistic guy that says, yeah, I think they'll maybe be back, or you can be the guy in the middle and say, yeah, I'm not really sure. And none of you is really wrong. It's just an opinion.
Right. And that's all it is right now is opinions. You know, everybody's opinions, and unless you're someone in the know and someone that has the capabilities of being in the know.
They don't even know.
I mean, it's all, you just look at the curve, and is the curve going down? It's like, hey, I mean, you know, here it is. The pandemic of such, and you're just worried about whether or not it's simple that curve. You know what I mean? It comes down to that. You know, it's pretty simple. I mean, it's just like anything. You know, I mean, it's like someone has the flu, and say, you know, come over to your house, and somebody has the flu. Huh? Oh, she's got the flu. You know, say, you know, Julie has the flu.
I think I should stay home.
Coming over, Sam. I might come over this week. Yeah.
I think I should stay home. Yeah, maybe it gets back to people using common sense again. Huh?
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's a stretch. Like I talked about, that someone would actually say inject and drink Lysol or whatever.
Mhm.
You know, one of those kind of deals. But, you know, like I said, the good thing is we're going in the right direction. It's not like we were a few weeks ago where you didn't know. You sat there and the unknown was unknown, you know. Now we're in a position where we kind of know what the unknown is right now, and we're making positive strides instead of stagnant, or we're going backwards. We're not stagnant. We're not going backwards. We're actually, looks like, making positive strides. So
Mhm.
that's good. Good talk, Sam. Good talk. We covered a little Michigan basketball. We covered the draft. Maybe they could do the draft again next week. We talk about draft again next week. Or, I don't know what we can talk about. We talk about next week. We'll talk about The Last Dance. You watch that at all?
About what?
The Last Dance.
No.
The series that they got going on. ESPN
No.
series. Tomorrow night, 9:00, ESPN. Episode 3 and 4. So the Bulls. They did 1 and 2 last week. Episode 1 and 2. Last Sunday. It was on Michael, and it was on Scotty.
Okay.
Tomorrow, episode 3 is Rodman,
Okay.
and episode 4 is on Phil.
I might have to watch it.
It's a 10-part series, so every Sunday. So you can watch episode 1 and 2. They replay it on, and you can watch it on TV. Really good. Episodes 1 and 2 are really good. It's about Michael and the Bulls and coming, how Michael. And you and I lived it, you know, and then Scottie Pippen and what Scotty was, and then.
Mhm.
And now tomorrow will be about Rodman, kind of particular Rodman's part on the team, and then Phil. And the following week they'll do another. They'll do 5 and 6. But it's a 5-part series. It's really cool. Almost 6.5 million people watched it last week or something. I think it's the show on last Sunday. So, but ESPN 9:00 and 10:00. You might have to record Shaq Life or something. But
That one I like.
I watched Shaq Life.
I like Shaq Life. That was really cool.
Shark, you see him feeding the sharks off the back of the boat.
Mhm.
Holy crap.
Mhm.
And the girl jumped in to get
I like Shaq.
she jumped in to get the camera. See that? Have you seen it?
Yeah, I did.
The girl she was a worker on the boat. She jumped in with all the sharks there.
Yeah.
Well, got his GoPro 30 yards from the boat.
Mhm.
Oof. Wow. Crazy. No way. I would never. Oh. Here it is. NFL Network showing round 1 again. They're desperate. They're
It's
desperate.
pretty desperate. Hey, you got to tune into something else, dude.
I know. I was sitting there and I'm like, they did the recap. Now they're going to do round 1.
Yeah, you got to turn that off.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to watch it. I'm gonna have to try to hunt some.
I wouldn't watch it. We might have to send help over.
Yeah. He hasn't moved from the chair. He's just sitting there twitching. You can't control it anymore. Yeah, if you haven't watched it, maybe if you're not doing anything, you haven't, yeah, they're gonna re-say it again. Pick number one. Maybe the Lions will pick somebody different third. All right, Sam. Good talking to you. Maybe now we can walk the course. Maybe we can go out and walk the course.
Yeah.
Or if you want to go, I can always dust off my clubs. No, golf balls. Get golf balls. Golf balls in my bag from last year. And my sports talk, covering the draft, covering a little bit of Michigan sports, Michigan State.
And hoping for something else to happen, so we got something more to talk about.
No, week to week, like we're saying. We're going to have something new by next week. But good talking, Sam.
All right, Pat.
We'll be in touch, eh?
All right, man.
Take care.
Yeah, you too.
Sports talk.